Throughout human history, a number of mythical narratives have captured our imagination, featuring tales of divine angels, colossal giants, and catastrophic disasters. While these stories initially seem captivating and enigmatic, closer examination reveals an alternative strand of human history that often goes unnoticed. One of these extraordinary narratives is found in the ancient Hebrew apocalyptic text known as the Book of Enoch, traditionally attributed to Enoch, Noah's great-grandfather. This ancient work reveals astonishing revelations about the origins of evil, the mysterious fallen angels, the powerful Nephilim, the cataclysmic flood, the prophesied Messiah, and the imminent end of time. Intriguingly, this text has remained hidden from the public due to its inclusion of information that delves into the surprising mysteries surrounding our origins, information that was ultimately excluded from the biblical canon. In addition to the Book of Enoch, another ancient manuscript discovered in Egypt carries a deeply disturbing message. These ancient texts invite us to explore their pages, as they promise to reveal astonishing secrets about our shared history that, for various reasons, have been kept hidden from general knowledge. Towards the end of 1946 or beginning of 1947, young Bedouin shepherds were in the vicinity of the ancient settlement of Qumran, located on the northwestern shores of the Dead Sea, in what is now known as the West Bank. During his pastoral duties, one of the young shepherds accidentally dislodged a rock in an opening in a cliff, resulting in a surprising and earth-shattering sound. Intrigued, they entered the cave where they stumbled upon a collection of large clay vessels. Among these vessels, 7 contained a treasure of leather scrolls and papyrus. These scrolls were later acquired by an antiquities dealer and eventually found their way into the hands of several scholars, who determined that the texts were more than 2,000 years old. This discovery quickly sparked the interest of both treasure hunters and archaeologists alike. In the following years, tens of thousands of additional scroll fragments were discovered in 10 adjacent caves, totaling between 800 and 900 priceless texts. Among these texts was the Book of Enoch itself, segmented into 5 different books: the Book of Vigils, the Book of Parables, the Astronomical Book, the Dream Visions, and the Epistles of Enoch, which together comprise a total of 100 chapters. The Book of Enoch is a compilation of monumental works, each delving into significant themes, such as rewards, punishments, the end of the world, and the final judgment. His first book, comprising chapters 6 to 36, focuses mainly on topics such as angels, the tree of life, Jerusalem, and the universe. The Book of the Watchers within the writings of Enoch tells the story of the fallen angels mentioned in Genesis 6 verses 1 to 4. These angels seduced human women, resulting in the birth of the Nephilim, beings of great knowledge who played a role in the coming of the catastrophic flood, which ultimately led to the destruction of the Nephilim. The term Nephilim refers to the fallen, often described as massive, giant-like individuals. The relationship between the children of God and the Nephilim is a subject of various interpretations. Some believe that the sons of God refer to fallen angels who fathered offspring with human women, an idea found in the non-canonical Jewish source known as the First Book of Enoch. This interpretation remains widely accepted. In the First Book of Enoch, the Nephilim are portrayed as giants, which is consistent with the idea that they had enormous stature due to their supernatural origin. However, it is important to note that some have raised theological concerns about the suggestion that angels or demons could physically reproduce with humans. The second part of the Book of Enoch, known as the Parables of the Likeness, is an apocalyptic narrative that revolves around themes related to the Son of Man and the Ancient of Days. These ancient prophecies, which feature prominently in the text, share a striking resemblance to the Book of Revelation in the Bible, aligning with biblical teachings. Within the Book of Enoch there is also an astronomical book that provides intricate details about the stars and their roles. Additionally, the section called Dream Vision serves as a complete prophecy that spans all of human history, from the past to the present and the future, meticulously predicting events from the beginning of time to the end of time and the final judgment. While the Book of Enoch contains elements that align with the Bible, it also presents contradictions. One notable contradiction concerns the mention of Noah in the Book of Enoch, even though the Bible teaches that Enoch was taken to heaven long before Noah's birth. This raises questions about how Enoch, who was supposed to be in heaven, could have knowledge of Noah and the events of the flood if he was the author of the Book of Enoch. Furthermore, in Enoch 10:8-9, God attributes all the corruption of the earth to a demon named Azazel, suggesting that the entire earth has been contaminated by the influence of Azazel, leading to the commission of all evil. Unlike Lucifer, commonly known as Satan or the devil, who is mentioned in the Bible, Azazel is not identified in biblical teachings. Satan is generally held responsible for problems in the world as the author of sin, and other specific demons are not mentioned in this context. The Book of Enoch also contains several astronomical and meteorological descriptions that are not in line with the Bible or contemporary scientific understanding. A notable example is found in chapter January 4:33, where it is suggested that Enoch painstakingly mapped and numbered all the stars in the sky. However, according to Jeremiah 33-22 in the Bible, counting the stars is considered infeasible due to their immense number. Modern astronomers estimate that there are approximately 100 million stars in the Milky Way alone, and there are many more galaxies with millions and millions of stars each. Another instance of discrepancy is found in the Book of Enoch 41, where it portrays wind, snow, hail, and even the moon as emanating from a wooden container in the sky. Such descriptions are considered illogical, absurd, and inconsistent with both scientific knowledge and biblical teachings. These discrepancies shed light on why the Book of Enoch was not included in the Bible. The earliest records of the Euphrates River come from cuneiform texts at Shuruppak and Nippur in southern Iraq, around the 3rd millennium BC. In Sumerian, he is named Buranuna, indicating his divine character. In these beliefs, the Euphrates represents the celestial river that flows in the sky. The ancient cities of Babylon and Nineveh were located along the Euphrates River in what is now Mesopotamia. The Euphrates played a fundamental role in the development of human civilization in that region. Throughout history, the river has served as a natural boundary between different governments and empires, making it an area of great importance and controversy. The Bible makes several mentions of the Euphrates, both in the Old and New Testaments, representing it as a powerful symbol of ancient empires. In the Old Testament, it is related to the Garden of Eden and the place of the origin of humanity. Furthermore, it is one of the 4 rivers mentioned as flowing out of Eden after creation. It also served as the natural boundary for the land promised to the Israelites, and crossing it was illegal at the time. From a historical and mythological perspective in Mesopotamia, the discovery of the Gilgamesh statue marks a significant turning point in research. In ancient Near Eastern literature, Gilgamesh is a prominent character. It is mentioned that the kings of the East will gather their troops before the Battle of Armageddon in a place where the Euphrates River is referred to. The New Testament also mentions this river and says that it was dried up in the Book of Revelation to allow the Eastern kingdoms to march unhindered. There are some mentions of Gilgamesh in non-cuneiform writings. A century after George Smith noted it, the flood account in the Epic of Gilgamesh remains an open connection between the Hebrew Bible and Mesopotamian epic narrative. Additionally, a manuscript of the Dead Sea Scrolls called the Book of Giants could contain the name of the heroic protagonist of Gilgamesh. As one of the world's oldest heroes, Gilgamesh could be considered the grandfather of ancient and modern heroic figures. The Epic of Gilgamesh, a literary classic that originated in ancient Mesopotamia, tells the story of this legendary king. The epic tells of the travels of Gilgamesh, a king who ruled Uruk, in modern-day Iraq, around 2700 BC. The recent rediscovery of this epic marked a crucial event. The advancement in our knowledge of the ancient Near East also changed the way we study the Hebrew Bible in the future. The dissemination over time and in various languages of the legends of Gilgamesh demonstrates the great interest that this character generated in the ancient Near East and beyond. Fragments of the original version of the text have been found in archaeological excavations in places from Iraq to Turkey. It is widely believed that the authors of the Hebrew Bible knew the story of Gilgamesh and used this knowledge to inspire elements and contrasts in their own text. In 2003, archaeologists in Iraq believed they had discovered the lost tomb of Gilgamesh. He ruled the ancient Sumerian city of Uruk and was the protagonist of the first documented story in human history, about 3,000 years ago. This story, called the Epic of Gilgamesh, was written on clay tablets in Sumerian around 2700 BC. The narrative functioned as a memory of the life of this leader of Uruk, one of the oldest and most powerful cities in the region. It is possible that the modern name of Iraq comes from the ancient city of Uruk, although this claim is disputed. The story of Gilgamesh's adventures, his quest for immortality, and his confrontations with mythical creatures is told in the Epic of Gilgamesh. In 2003, a German expedition announced it had discovered what was believed to be the entire city of Uruk, including the supposed burial site of the famous ruler Gilgamesh. This place was surrounded by the ancient Euphrates River before its course changed. According to George Fassbender, head of the Bavarian Department of Historical Monuments in Munich, although it cannot be stated with certainty that it was Gilgamesh's tomb, it bears similarities to ancient descriptions. Gilgamesh is believed to have been buried under the Euphrates in a tomb built after his death and the relocation of the river. This story is preserved on clay tablets. Fassbender explained that advanced techniques allowed the ancient city to be discovered under the sands of the Iraqi desert. Structures were found that coincided with those mentioned in the epic, such as gardens and homes. Also highlighted was the discovery of a complex network of canals, possibly affected by floods that destroyed some buildings. This suggests the existence of an advanced system in the area, similar to Venice but in the desert. The Tigris and Euphrates rivers have a long history and are mentioned in ancient writings, even in future predictions. These rivers have existed for thousands of years. The Tigris joins the Euphrates and flows into the Persian Gulf in a region called Shet al-Arab, near the Euphrates. Together with the Nile River in Africa, these rivers form the Fertile Crescent, an area of the Middle East rich in soil and considered the cradle of civilization. Both rivers are related to Mesopotamia, a territory between them and part of the Fertile Crescent. These rivers are mentioned in ancient texts, including the Bible and Hadiths, in creation and in prophecies about the end of the world, which shows their antiquity. However, in recent years, the Tigris and Euphrates in the Middle East have declined due to human activity and climate change. There is a danger that they will dry out in the coming decades, affecting the environment and biodiversity. Water depletion has led to the extinction of species and the degradation of habitats. Furthermore, these rivers maintain the biological balance of the area, and their drying has altered this balance. The drying up of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers has had positive effects on archaeology. Many ancient artifacts are being discovered in these rivers, including a city built 3,400 years ago. This occurred when the Mosul Reservoir, formerly known as the Saddam Dam in northern Iraq, dried up due to the ongoing drought in the area. This city emerged from the waters of the Tigris River, specifically from the Mosul Reservoir. Archaeologists have found ruins and artifacts from the Mitanni Empire era of the Bronze Age, between 1550 and 1350 BC. It is also thought that the urban center, containing large buildings and palaces, may have been the ancient metropolis of Zahiku. Although these rivers could be endangered in the future, they are still useful. Despite the risk of losing these valuable resources, we continue to access them. If water levels continue to drop, we will find more historical relics, but this will require a significant financial cost. The tomb of Genghis Khan has been an enigma throughout time, surrounded by myths and legends. The Mongol conqueror, famous for founding one of the largest empires, is said to have ordered that his final resting place be hidden and those who participated in the burial executed to keep it a secret. Stories tell how Genghis Khan diverted rivers and released wild horses to hide his tomb, making it one of the greatest historical secrets. Despite the tension between scientific research and cultural sensitivity, fueled by the Mongolian belief that disturbing the tomb would bring calamity, the desire to uncover the enigma persists. Although previous attempts resulted in disappointments, the appeal of solving this mystery remains strong. Archaeologists have explored ancient texts, satellite images, and migration patterns to find clues. The recent idea that scientists could reveal this historical enigma was perceived as bold, challenging the barriers of tradition and culture. In the current era, turning our attention to the secrets of our past seems inevitable. The current revelation changes the way we view history, providing real evidence that challenges long-standing myths about Genghis Khan's tomb. This finding opens new avenues of academic research and presents a dilemma for Mongolia about how to handle international attention. On a global level, it adds a shocking chapter to an ancient narrative, stripping away folklore and forcing us to confront exciting but disturbing realities. A team of archaeologists, initially in Mongolia to study ancient weather patterns, stumbled upon the site near Berkhan Mountain, long speculated to be the tomb of Genghis Khan. The discovery, supported by advanced technology such as ground radar, metal detectors and drones, revealed an elaborate burial site, with intricate carvings and symbols of power. The decisive moment came when deciphering inscriptions that resembled ancient Mongolian script, strongly indicating that it was the tomb of Genghis Khan. News of the discovery generated great excitement, promising to change historical research and challenge established narratives. However, the discovery brought with it complications. The Mongolian government was consulted at every step due to the monumental importance to the national heritage. With the media converging on the site, ethical considerations arose about excavating a place so linked to Mongolian culture and identity. The meticulous work continued for weeks, with specialized scientists and local observers. Periodic revelations fueled discussions from the academic to the existential. Beyond the artifacts and historical documents, the discovery was perceived to unleash unforeseen results. Experts in linguistics, history, and anthropology were summoned, maintaining an interdisciplinary approach that never lost its amazement. They all recognized that they were part of something extraordinary, an effort that was rewriting chapters in the annals of human history. As archaeologists prepared to open Genghis Khan's tomb, anticipation was mixed with trepidation. Although they found impressive historical artifacts at first, such as swords and armor, what they discovered next defied explanation. Among the riches, they found artifacts made from advanced materials, seemingly out of place in the 13th century. Some had inscriptions and symbols in unknown languages, executed with mechanical precision. Experts could not identify its origin or understand its meanings. Additionally, DNA testing revealed unusual genetic markers, distinct from any known lineage. This added a mysterious and complicated twist to the figure of Genghis Khan, challenging our understanding of his history. Unusual ritual elements were discovered in Genghis Khan's tomb, challenging known Mongol traditions. Ceremonial daggers, vessels with unknown compounds, and engravings on celestial bodies created an eerie atmosphere. Was Genghis Khan part of a forgotten belief, or was there something supernatural at play? A scroll showed unknown landforms, and translucent stones with intriguing properties affected electronic devices. These findings challenged scientific categorization and our understanding of knowledge of that time. The key question, was Genghis Khan part of a more complex narrative than we thought? Reactions ranged from skepticism to fearful speculation. Some thought it was an elaborate hoax, while others considered the possibility of extraterrestrial contact. Although the most extreme theories were ruled out, the lack of definitive explanations left everyone baffled. Furthermore, the scientific data challenged the foundations of archaeology, genetics, and physics. DNA analysis and radiocarbon dating were used, crucial to understanding the story. However, the results did not match expectations, raising more questions than answers. DNA from the skeletal remains showed unusual markers and unexplained genetic material. Radiocarbon dating tests returned inconsistent results, with some items older than expected and others of an impossible age based on their condition. The anomalies continued with the composition of some artifacts, made of materials and alloys challenging known metallurgical capabilities. Teams from various disciplines proposed theories without reaching clear conclusions, raising questions about quantum physics and possible new natural laws. This also challenged the conventional image of Genghis Khan, suggesting a more complex story with extraterrestrial influences. Domestically and internationally, Mongolia became the center of debates on cultural heritage, scientific ethics, and sovereignty. Negotiations over the tomb generated historical tensions, and the younger generation expressed opinions, driving cultural and scientific changes. Bodies such as the UN and UNESCO discussed the tomb's status as World Heritage, addressing ethical and political issues at a global level. The controversy extended to archaeological ethics, possible cultural exploitation in the international market, and the intellectual property of technologies found in the tomb. In short, this complex discovery tested ethical and scientific rigor, revealing the complexities that influence our understanding of the past, present, and future.